Beacon Marketing's Beacon. Five things you know about marketing this week. My name is Roger Gallegos. I am the founder and CEO of Beacon Marketing. Today I'm continuing my series on looking ahead to 2021. At the time of the production of this video, it is just about getting into December 2020. So I thought, why don't we do a series on how to look ahead to the new year? What things can we expect from marketing? How can we improve ourselves as marketers and in turn improve and better our businesses? So whether you are actually listening to these videos as they are released, or even if you are checking them out throughout the year, these are things that can help you plan for success or actually remind you of things that you should and possibly should not be doing. In this week's video, we're going to be looking at a brand new emerging, I don't want to say brand new, but an emerging technology that's really changing how businesses are promoting themselves and getting found on the internet, and that is voice search. If you are unfamiliar with voice search, let me pull up my phone right here. Voice search is essentially when you pull something out here and you go, Alexa, find this, or Siri, can I look for this? And really kind of starting out with like food restaurants, like restaurants and stuff like that, but it's beginning to move out into other aspects of business where everybody has either a phone that has that voice search capability, or even like an Alexa or a Google Home device where you use it to, manage lights, music, whatever, but people are actually using it to do searches and even make purchases. So as this technology improves and becomes more widely spread out, people get, accustomed to it. You really want a business side. You really want to be kind of an early adopter to this, because you could be ahead of the curve a bit and help and get yourself found, because this is a convenience thing. The reason people use voice search is it's easier to type in things. Just the other day, my wife was like, I'm going to try adding stuff to Amazon's cart, instead of trying to rush to my phone. I'm going to say, Amazon, add toilet paper, Amazon, add toothpaste, that type of stuff. So she's actually just getting realization she could try that. So more and more of the general public is going to be becoming aware of these things. So you want to start capitalizing. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at how you can get started with voice search. Again, this is just getting started. If you're going to be thinking about voice search, you're going to want to have, find ways to take the next step. And I'll probably be doing more videos on voice search, but this is just kind of an introduction. So the first thing you want to do is use conversational speak. Think about how people speak and how they would, ask a real person, a real live person, because that's how this technology is being developed. It's not being developed in a robotic sense. So don't think like you have to speak in like quote unquote robot talk. Think about how you are going to ask a question, or how your customers would ask a question, and like if they were coming into your shop. So if you are, the best way to do this, in my opinion, is think about interactions that you've had with your customers. Like when they come in, what do your customers ask for the most, or what questions do you find yourself answering a lot, and optimize your website for that, or optimize your social media to address those questions. So the first thing you want to do is use that conversational language and think about how people actually speak, so you can use those key phrases throughout your website, throughout your social media. So when people are searching for something, that's how that voice search is going to be finding you. The next point is, and I touched on this, is answer specific questions. Again, think about your audience's pain points and what questions they ask, and address those specific questions. And again, you want to address those specific questions in blog topics, in the keywords that you use, in language that you use in your posts. So, and it could be in short little snippets or long tail key phrases that we'll talk about here in a second. Those are the things that will help you, or actually help your website or your social media channels and our messaging stand out when it comes to doing this voice search. Because again, you have to think about how your audience may use this. So like an example is pizza place in the north part of town. So somewhere in your website, you're saying, we're the #1 pizza parlor in the north side of town. Like that might be something you put on your website, because if someone's searching for that, that's an easy phrase for the social media, for the voice search, whether it's Alexa or Google or Siri. They're going to search out for that phrase, and if you have that, that's one of the things that they'll look at. That's a very simplistic kind of example, but you, based on your industry and what you do, you can kind of think of things that are very similar to that. Next thing is use long tail keywords. This is something that has really been changing over time for SEO. I remember when I first started, kind of the short tail ones were mostly focused on. It was really kind of simple, like Albuquerque landscaper would be like an example of a short tail key phrase. A long one would be Albuquerque landscaper who focuses on, or who mows lawns, or who trims bushes. Like, people are beginning to become more specific with their needs because they really want to drill down. So again, this goes back to if you're noticing a theme here for the first three, is think about what your audience pain points, think about the things they ask you and the common issues that you face, and those are the things that you're going to want to put throughout your website. You're going to want to kind of focus on that. So again, think about what people might be looking for and how they might phrase it, and you want to use those keywords throughout your website, in messaging in your social media. Finally, again, into that first point, use it. You put it in a conversational manner. You can't just stick it in there and have it not be natural, because these algorithms that these voice search bots are using are highly sensitive. They're very good at detecting what might be nonsense. So if you have to use it in a conversational way, it may take some time. You may have to work with an editor or somebody like that to make it sound a little bit better, but you could do it, and it'll make a difference in the long run. So number 4 is think about user intent. Essentially, you put yourself in the user's shoes. Again, this theme is not going anywhere. Voice search, to be really successful, you have to put yourself in the shoes of the user. So think about what the user is trying to do. This will do a couple things. It'll make sure you put the right keywords, that you're addressing the right answers, and ultimately it might even help you anticipate the customer's needs. So to go to that, the example of the pizza place again, if someone's searching for pizza place in the north side of town, or pizza parlor in the north side of town, they're probably doing the search because they either want to visit your establishment or make an order. So when you put it in there in your copy, and you're having people go there, when people get there, have an easy place to either place an order, call you, or get directions. That's something you want to do with no matter what your service, what your business is, and what services or products you offer. You want to think of it in that terms. Don't just say, we're going to put this keyword here, and that's going to be the end of it. You want to put the keyword in your website. You want to use those long tail keywords that we talked about. Use them in a conversational manner. Answer specific questions, and think about user intent. Like, why is this customer asking this question? What are they ultimately looking for? Because if you tie all those things together, then what happens is when Siri or Google or Amazon do that search, they're going to find it, and they're going to say, oh, but this business checks all the boxes. They use the conversational language, so it comes out like a natural human. They're answering specific questions. They use a long tail keyword, which again goes back to answering specific questions being used in a conversational manner, and they're actually putting themselves in place to really help the customer. Because again, if this voice search is not effective for the people who provide it, people won't use it, and the companies that provide voice search want their customers using it, so they're going to give them the best results possible, and you want to be part of those results. Lastly, and I've kind of touched on the edges of this, but essentially you want to ensure your website is good to go and ready to handle the traffic that's coming in. You want it to be mobile friendly, you want it to be fast, you want it to be secure. So all these things, if you just go and check on your website, because if people do this voice search and they find it and they go to your website, you want them to be able to get the information they need and not have to wait. So make sure if you have images on your website, make sure they're not these really large images that drag down its performance. Make sure, for my money, don't put the videos directly on your website. Use something like YouTube and embed them. on your website. Most websites out of the box are mobile friendly, but you just may want to check to make sure that everything looks good on a mobile device, whether that's a phone or tablet. And of course you want it to be secure, because if it's not secure, the people are going to go to it, they're going to see that little red lock and say it's not secure, I'm going to go to the next one. So all these things are important, because you don't want to do all the work that we talked about, the first 4 steps, and then have the person get to your website and then be like, wait a minute, they're not ready to handle me because this is not even secure, or this website takes forever to load, because they'll just get frustrated, they'll go to the next option. So you want to make sure you're actually ready to handle the traffic that's going to be coming in. So real quick recap, you want to use conversational language, answer specific questions, target long tail keywords, think about user intent, and then ensure your website's good to go to handle the incoming traffic from voice searching. So that's it for me today. Let me know what you think about this. Have you done any work with voice search? Do you think that it is a viable technology for you and your business, or something that you would be interested to get into? As always, please like, share, comment, subscribe. I want to see this channel grow. I want to hear what you guys think about it. Really, please let me know what you think about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your time. Next week we'll be continuing the series. We'll be looking at how you can use technology to create a better marketing experience. This actually was one of my favorite topics as I was outlining it, so I'm really looking forward to doing that video. So that's going to be next week's video, so stay tuned for that. This has been Beacon Marketing's Beacon 5 things you know about marketing this week. My name is Roger Gallegos. I'm the founder and CEO of Beacon Marketing. I'll talk to you next week. You guys have a great one. Thank you so much. Bye.